Hello everyone, the Kentucky Patriot. Glad to have you, appreciate you watching. I just want to make a quick video of a gun my wife picked up today, and take a look here at, this is the Taurus, the G2c. And the reason I want to talk about it and really look at it, it's a very good looking gun, very nice, good looking gun. And I'll go over the features and talk about it here just in a second. But the reason I want to talk about this gun, is it a treasure or is it trash, and I'm going to go over the scope of my experience with Taurus, or Taurus, ever how you pronounce it. But I'm going to go over the whole scope of my experience. Now your experiences may be different, but I'm going to go over my whole experiences with them, and then I'm going to tell you, of course they were running a sale of what the price of this gun was, and we got it here locally. It's 2019 April, so you know prices may vary later on if you watch this at a later date, or your town or your state it may vary, but it was $179 as a sale price with a $25 rebate, which made it $154. Well, you know and I know that's a fabulous price, so right off the bat it's looking like a treasure. But we're going to get into it a little bit, and I'm going to tell you all my experience with Taurus, not ones I've just shot or been around, but ones I've personally owned. Before I got married, when my wife first got married, we had one, and you'll have to forgive me, I'm terrible with remembering the makes and models of guns. I had to ask my wife, I said, now what was this one again? Because I forget, even like Glocks. I know it's 17 and 19, but other than that, I forget which numbers the 357 SIG, or which numbers the 45 Gap, or which models the 40 caliber or whatever. So I can't remember all the makes and models of guns. But we had a Taurus revolver, and it was a 5-shot revolver. Very small, very compact, very, very lightweight. It was in 357 Magnum. You could literally put it in your pocket and it concealed just instantly. Very small, very compact, very light, very easy to carry. And the functionality of the gun worked. There was nothing wrong. It was single action or double action. Nothing wrong with the gun itself. But where it was a lightweight, a short barrel, the recoil was devastatingly brutal. So that was the only gun that I've ever had that I can ever think of that my wife's never shot. And my wife's not shy when it comes to big bore. She shot everything from 454 to 45-70 to 3-inch Magnums and 12 gauge. So she shot some big guns. But this one, where it was small, it would physically hurt your hand. I mean, a couple shots and it was like, wow. You could shoot 38s through it, and and it was a handful. But when you went up to 357 Magnum and that small barrel, small frame, lightweight gun, it was devastatingly brutal. So I ended up trading it off, long story short, and give it to my uncle. He had it for a while. He traded it off because of the recoil. But if you're in the woods and have something with you, your life depends on it. Recoil's not the end of the world, but it's not necessarily a reflection of Taurus. But like I said, that was my experience with their revolvers. And then later on, there was a guy selling one. Again, you have to forgive me, I'm not real good with the makes and models, but I think it was the PT or something like that. It was the two-tone, had the silver top, was 40 caliber, full-size gun, big gun. And my dad didn't have a pistol like that at the time. He didn't have a striker fired, and he was interested, so I gave it to Dad. And my experience was with it. It was big, full-size gun. It's probably hard to conceal carry, but it was great. Now I can't attest to putting thousands of rounds through it, but I'd shot it. Dad shot it. My wife shot it, and it was great. I mean, and Dad still got it today. We've not shot it in a long time, but it worked out great. So then, so I give that to him because I had several striker fires. Again, striker fired pistols, and so then we went to a 380. I had a 380 Taurus that I got a good deal on, and I brought it home. And again, I don't remember the make or model. It was a small, 380 pocket pistol, basically, or just a small concealed carry pistol. And when I went to chamber around, I had some critical defense in it just to see if it would chamber. It wouldn't chamber around. I thought, well, that's odd. And I kept trying. And whenever I worked the slide, I full with the magazine. Everything I tried to get it to do, I could not chamber it. And I thought, well, not really that big of a deal on a 380. There's debating. I mean, Scott Pataki Ballistics, he says when he carries a 380, he don't even carry hollow points. I understand. So I thought, well, with a 380, hollow points may not have enough penetration if they expand too much. No big deal. I can use full metal jackets with the 380. I used full metal jackets and still could not get the gun to load. I was never able even to fire a gun because I never could get the thing to chamber the first round. I mean, I could probably open the slide and physically put one in the chamber, but that's not how it's supposed to work. That's not so. I took the gun back and traded it for the shield. So that's my personal experiences with the Taurus. So when I seen this gun come out, the sale price and the price point, and we saw the gun, I thought, wow, it really looks good. And the reason I tell you all of this is I do my best to be honest with you. I'm a tiny channel. Nobody's endorsing me. Nobody's paying me. I'm not here to say anything good or bad for any other reason than just try to feed you information from my experiences. And like I said, your experiences may vary. And if it does, let me know in the comments below. But when I saw this gun immediately, I like the looks of this gun. I think it's a great looking gun. And when you get a gun like this for $154, I mean, that's just phenomenal. So I'm gonna go over it just a little bit with you. Try not to make this video too long. My wife says, how long is this video gonna be? And whatever I tell her, it's usually more than double. So I'll try not to ramble too long. But I'm gonna show you this side-by-side comparison of the Smith & Wesson Shield, which I know you're probably familiar with. Now, if you look, the Smith & Wesson is quite a bit, it's got a slimmer size frame. The slide is smaller, it's thinner. Here's a side-by-side comparison. I don't know how well, try to get my big hands out of the way here. So, like I said, I'm going to give an honest review. And one thing, this was always my selling point for the MMPs, or one of them. Why, me personally, for carry, I prefer them more than a Glock, is these serrations right here. These fist scale serrations, to me, like I've told you in other videos, you don't get to pick the day, the time. It could be raining, it could be snowing, it could be hot, and your hands could be sweaty. So these fish scale serrations, they call us, to me, is easier to grip it, to rack the slide if you need to rack the slide, whether if you don't carry around in the chamber, or if your magazine runs empty and you put a new magazine in to grab that, that's just got more of a grip to it. Well, these look like the Glock serrations, but the first thing my wife said when she got a hold of this gun is she said, I love this. She said, this slide is awesome. And it is. I mean, you can grip that. There's no way your hand's going to slide on that. I mean, it's like, it's not a rough texture. You have to try it for yourself. Next time at your gun store, even if you're in the market to buy one of these or not, you have to try these slide serrations. I'm like her. I was blown back. This is amazing. These slide serrations, I mean, you can grab it. You can't miss these. I mean, it's phenomenal. Love them. Love them. And now, my wife wasn't a big fan of this. I am, but I get where she's coming from. These right here, these are like sandpaper. These tack grip right here, they are very aggressive, extremely aggressive. But now, if you're going to the range and shooting umpteen million rounds, then yes, that may be an issue. But if you're going to use this gun for concealed carry gun, whether it's raining, muddy, bloody, snow, whatever, you can absolutely get a hold of this right here, and you can absolutely get a hold of this slide. And I love the slide, and I love these grips. Like my wife said, it's not as comfortable to shoot. If you're going for a range day, and like I said, you're going to shoot a lot, these are quite aggressive, but I absolutely love them. Love them. Now, it does have a safety. Some of you like safety, some of you's not a fan. Me personally, I'm not a huge fan of an active safety other than 1911 on a carry gun. Personal preference, you may be. Now, what I told you about the shield is I didn't like this safety because it's too hard to manipulate. If you're carrying it with it on and you draw this gun in a fight or flight situation, your life depends on it. I mean, you might hit it, you might not, and you can't be guesswork. So if I have a shield like this that I'm carrying, I always carry with the safety off. That's up to you, but this is nothing like a 1911 style where you can easily get to the thumb safety. So I'm not a big fan of this thumb safety. But on this one, as you can see here, it's quite a bit bigger, and it's obviously the red dot there is fire. And this gun is unloaded, so I know there's probably some safety ninja that's saying I'm whatever. But anyway, that red dot right there is obviously fire. But this is so easily to manipulate. Again, you do what you want to do. Me, I'd carry it off. But if you want to carry this on safe, I'm sure with a very little bit of training, you can easily manipulate this safety no problem. It's not like the Shield's safety. Now, I'm a huge Shield fan. It's what my wife carries. I'm a huge Shield fan. I'm not knocking the Shield, but I'm just telling you the safety on this Taurus is so much better than the safety, in my opinion, on the Smith & Wesson, because you can see me doing this while I'm talking, and it's without even practicing, without even really giving it much thought, without even whatever, I can do it very easily and without even training at all. So if you want to train with this, having it on safe, I really think even if it's wet, slimy, muddy, whatever, you'll still be able to deactivate that safety fairly easy. Now, one thing I will tell you, like I said, I love the looks of this gun. It's got a little rail here. I mean, there's a lot of features for a $150 gun. I really like it real well. Now, one thing I will tell you, like I said, and this is without me ever firing it. I have never fired this gun. Not only this gun, I have never fired a G2, so I can't tell you anything about it from firing. Hopefully I'll get out to the range soon and we'll do that test. But I will tell you this, the trigger has a lot of take-up, a whole lot of take-up. The slide automatically locks back, and that's something else too. Your slide release is here, but the trigger has a whole lot of take-up. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but it's got the Glock style, and it comes to right here, and you can see all that take-up. And then it breaks. Now, if you watch the trigger reset, I barely move it and the trigger resets. I can care less about a trigger reset. Trigger reset never even comes in my mind. I don't care. Doesn't bother. But some of you guys are big on trigger resets. This has an amazing trigger set. And actually, the other trigger in here, there's that little safety notch. I think it's more actually like a Springfield, I should say. But if you watch again, the trigger take-up is a lot. So there's a lot of play right there. That's something you may get used to, but there is a lot of play right there before the trigger actually breaks. And then watch this once again. The trigger breaks. Now watch this reset. I'll barely move my finger. Watch this. I mean, the reset's amazing. It's great. Now, I will tell you some downsides to this thing. And after I get used to it, it may be okay. But God forbid you'd ever need to do this, but just in case, if you have to do a quick reload, I cannot get to that magazine release from my shooting grip. So if I'm shooting, the gun runs dry, I cannot manipulate that magazine without changing my grip. And even if I do change my grip, the mag release is very tight, very tough, and sometimes I've even released it and had, to push extra hard and kind of help it out a little bit. But that is a very tough, like right now I'm pushing it, I couldn't get it out 2 or 3 times. So there's no way I'm going to be able to fire, run dry, and do my tack reloads. This takes effort to manipulate, and you're not going to be able to manipulate it from the shooting grip. At least I can't. And to me, that's pretty important on a concealed carry gun. So that may be something you're looking at too. And I'll tell you something else that's pretty phenomenal. Companies sometimes want to only send 1 magazine. This one comes with 2 at the $150 price range. These are 12-round magazines, and they're both the same. Now with the Shield, I'll tell you this, it comes with 2 magazines, and the other magazine's a little bit smaller, a little bit shorter, but it carries a round or 2. I think maybe 1 for the 40, maybe 1 or 2 for the 9. I can't remember. But me personally, I've got bigger hands, so when I carry, I put the extended mag in so my finger will grip the handgun, and I can get all my fingers on there. It's up to you, but if I'm doing this, it just feels uncomfortable for me trying to draw, trying to shoot. So I've got the extended mag. Your hands may not be as big, may not mean as much to you in the Smith & Wesson Shield. But the Taurus, if you'll notice, is almost like a Ruger design right here with this, not as prominent as the Ruger design. But even with these magazines, they're just 12-round magazines, both of them. One is not extended that can hold more rounds. But with this magazine, even though I've got big hands, if you'll notice, my little finger it's still a comfortable, grip for me without an extended magazine. Like I said, the Smith & Wesson is not. I have to have the extended mag to feel comfortable. I know some people want it smaller, maybe fine with you for carry, but this one, as you can see, with that design right there, my hand along the slide fits perfect, and then I can still get a good grip, which, like I said, it's very important to me to have this finger on the gun for me, for control, for drawing, for being able to shoot, and then I can absolutely, the sights, good sight, 3-dot sights, what you're probably used to. The takedown is, the takedown levers is right here. I don't know if you can see this, but here and here, you just kind of put your slide back just a little bit, pull these down, and then dry fire it just like you would your Glock, and take it apart. The internals and stuff is pretty much what you're used to, probably in your M&Ps, Glocks, whatever. You're probably already pretty much used to that. But just a real quick look at this gun. For $150 to have 2 magazines, to have this kind of grip texture, this is the kind of stuff people pay extra for. And not trying to be redundant, but I'm telling you, wait till you, I wish there's no way the camera can show this. These look just like normal slide. I don't know what they've done, but whatever they've done, you can, get a hold of this and absolutely rack the slide and go to work. So at this price point, so far to me and my wife are thrilled. It's looking like a treasure. But I don't care if you pay $2 for a gun. If it's not reliable, if it won't run for you, then you didn't get a deal. It's not a treasure. Looks are great. And like I said, I've told you, I love the looks of this gun. But again, this is a gun, not artwork. So, 1911, same thing, they're beautiful, but they're a gun, they're not artwork. If it doesn't run reliably, if it doesn't cycle correctly, if it doesn't want to, it doesn't want to be reliable and malfunctions a lot, then it's not a treasure. To me, you can disagree, but it's trash. A gun that won't do what it's supposed to do, But just from the price and the looks and the features, I am thrilled with this little gun. And like I said, that one Taurus I had wouldn't feed. I wasn't at all happy. The other 2 Tauruses, that we never had an issue with them. They both was very reliable. So I'm going to take this to the range hopefully pretty soon, and I'm going to put it through its paces, and I'm going to do maybe a range review. I may shoot it some, and then do a range review and show you. And if this thing is reliable and it runs, then I believe this is going to be a treasure. To me, a beautiful gun, features, feels great in the hand, at an amazing price point. $150, this new, and I don't know if I said this, this was new. This was not used. This was not a trade-in. This was, with the rebate, was $150-some, $54, brand new. And like I said, this is the Taurus G2c. Like I said, I had to look, can't remember from start of the video. And there's your trigger. Very nice. Very excited to get out and try this. And I'm not sure if I told you this, but this is in 9mm. I think they make a 40 in this too. But this is the 9mm, and again, very excited. Hopefully we'll get out to the range soon. I haven't shot this, like I told you. If you've shot this, if you have experience with this, if this is your carry gun, if you've bought this, please let me know in the comments below. As always, keep it family friendly. But I'm very excited about this little gun. Can't wait to get out, put it through its paces. Like I said, 2 magazines. Appreciate you guys watching. And somebody said on there about how they couldn't believe, even though I had a real small audience, what kind of quality people. Like, everybody was so polite and everybody was so kind. There was no trolls now, and I am very blessed. Thank you for every one of you guys. You all just been great. I'm thankful for each and every one of you. You've always kept the comments family friendly. You've always just been great, and I appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. I've got an Instagram account now. Please check me out, the Kentucky Patriot. Facebook, the Kentucky Patriot. Please check me out. Any questions you have, comments, love to hear from you. Wish you all the very best. Looking forward to the Taurus here. And may God bless you. Wish you and your family the very best. The Kentucky Patriot, signing off.